This doesn't have anything to do with anything. I just found it hilarious just before I clicked record on doing this. But with the new Windows update, well, I guess it's not really new, but when this computer finally decided to update after like a week of using it, you got that little news feed down there in the corner if you're one of the smart people, okay? But I'll talk slower if you guys use Macs. But anyways, yeah, in the bottom corner, okay, you got the little news feed that comes up and it has the little weather updates and stuff. But right now, as I'm recording this, it says minus 36 Celsius. Okay, we're in Canada. And the weather beside it, because it has a little descriptor as to what it's like outside. Partly cloudy, okay, raining, snowing, or something like that. Instead of just having a descriptor like that, it just says cold next to it. Fuck, the past month, okay? I'll stop bitching about this in a second here because starting Monday, it's supposed to be, a background average. It hasn't been above on a single fucking day in the past month, and it is wearing on me unfucking believably. So I'm sorry for just the lower energy that's been out there lately, and maybe the more rambling and incoherentness of the videos as of late. But for like the past fucking month, it's been unreasonably cold, and there's been snow every day, and it's fucking wearing on me, and it's driving me nuts, okay? So I just wanted to share that. I thought it was a little bit funny, it just says cold, and it's like, well, thanks, that's very fucking obvious. But what was even more obvious was there was going to be a lot of fallout in the aftermath of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. I'm not saying her name correctly because she's a pedophile, okay? Well, here's one that kind of came out of left field. There was a juror who apparently lied on his voir dire, okay? He apparently had an extensive history of being sexually abused, and then, okay, took that experience into the deliberation room and swayed a bunch of jurors that were in there in order to convict her, based on his old experiences. So there could be a mistrial declared, and she could be set free, and then a new trial could be started up. This is where I'm going to jump in on this trial because the first time around, I just figured something fucked up would happen. And it's like, again, my central concern with this entire trial is, yeah, okay, Jeffrey Epstein was a really bad guy. He diddled kids, he trafficked kids across the country. And because he killed himself, we're going to try to pin a bunch of stuff on Ghislaine as well, okay? But again, my feelings about the entire situation aside, she's still a hunk of shit and a fucking pedophile. But if she didn't get a fair trial, and if this is another one of those setups that's out there in order for her to, I don't know, make a fucking James Bond exit by just having a tainted juror and she's allowed to go free on a new trial, it would just fucking be so fitting of this entire situation. So let's figure out what the fuck is actually going on. So Maxwell's defense calls for new trial. Prosecution requests a juror inquiry. The Honorable Allison J. Nathan, the judge who presided over Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking case in federal court last month, received 2 requests on January 5th regarding the trial. One came from the prosecution and one came from the defense. At the center of both requests is an individual who recently given interviews to the media regarding his service on the jury. Wow, it's nice to know that sometimes some of those jury interviews, not like different cases, Chauvin, Potter, that some of these juror interviews end up making it back, okay? When they say it's like, yeah, we're tainted, yeah, we didn't follow the law, Potter, and we, it kind of had prior engagements that, we didn't disclose, and we probably lied to the court, Chauvin, but we didn't do any of that stuff beforehand. But when it comes to this high-profile federal trial that's kept under wraps, wow, all of a sudden one of these interviews just magically comes to the forefront. Fucking weird how that happens. He publicly stated he was a victim of childhood sexual abuse and made this known to his fellow jurors during deliberation. This was something that was on the jury questionnaire. This was something that was asked on voir dire, and he lied about it. Okay, he lied about it. Maxwell was found guilty on 5 of 6 counts of sex trafficking on behalf of convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein on December 29th, and 4 alleged victims testified Maxwell, but not like the most popular and most well-known quote-unquote victim, Virginia Guthrie. She wasn't there. She's just, still trying to deal with her civil cases. Anyways, that's an entire other bucket of worms, but she seems like a total liar. Anyways, in the 3-page letter the prosecution wrote, assuming the accuracy of the reporting, the juror asserted that he flew through the prospective juror questionnaire and doesn't recall being asked whether he'd been a victim of sexual abuse, but stated that he would have answered honestly. Oh, that seems like a lie, but okay, way to backtrack on this. The letter states that based on the foregoing, the government believes the court should have conducted an inquiry and further requests a hearing in approximately 1 month. Okay. The letter also suggests that the juror be asked whether he'd like a lawyer appointed to him should a hearing be conducted. I think there will be, because we got another article here. Maxwell's defense team wrote in a letter on the subject to Nathan, stating that present incontrovertible grounds for a new trial under Rule 33. They might have a point there. They really do. Prior to these developments, it was understood that the defense was going to file an appeal and that Nathan was going to sentence Maxwell, most likely this month. But now they're going to have another hearing on this juror. So the judge set schedule for defense to move for a new trial. So they're going to be trying this fucking story. Okay, on January 5th, the Honorable Allison J. Nathan, the judge who presided over Maxwell, or a sex trafficking case, blah, 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 blasey, blasey, blasey. We know all that stuff. The juror had recently stated publicly he was a victim of sexual abuse and made it known to his fellow jurors during deliberations. The prosecution requested there be an inquiry into the juror, and the defense requested a new trial. Both of them are like, I don't know if justice was necessarily served because this motherfucker was tainted as shit. Nathan has responded to the request, stating that the letter dated January 5th, the court hereby sets the following briefing schedule for the defense to move for a new trial in light of the issues raised in the parties' letters. I really, really, really hope that the defense team for Kim Potter's ears perk up, that whoever's working on the appeal for Derek Chauvin, his ears perk up to this. Move for a new trial in light of the issues raised in the parties' letters. Defense motion, January 19th, 2022. Government response, February 2nd, 2022. Defense reply to the response, February 9th, 2022. Maxwell was found guilty, 5 of 6 counts. Okay, Nathan also wrote the schedule for any other post-verdict motion by the defense as follows. Defense motion, February 4th. Government opposition, the 18th of February. Defense reply, March 4th. The juror, known to the court as juror number 50, will be represented by Todd A. Spodek of Spodek Law Group in Manhattan. Very, very interesting. And yeah, this trial, man, it ain't gonna end. It was never gonna be that cut and dry. Everybody knows she's a creep. She was involved with Epstein and his dealings, okay? But if she didn't get a fair trial and she didn't get a shake at this shit, okay? And if the prosecution didn't make their case clear enough, that's not fair to anybody, okay? You let one discretion go, then you open up the floodgates. So get this shit right, okay? Plus, I like a very, very hilarious, extravagant story for 2022. But yeah, until we know more, nothing really to report on this one. There's a schedule that's outlined, and if I'm to guess on this, I think we're probably going to be seeing a new trial because the prosecution is asking for, okay, we're going to inquire into this, and the defense obviously is like, mistrial, new trial, and there's plenty of money there, so obviously the defense wants to carve into those coffers a little bit deeper. So the fact that they're both inquiring as to the validity of the jury to see if there's any tampering there, that leads me to believe that they're going to be trying that back again because, yeah, the prosecution, they didn't get all 6 of those charges, so they figured, yeah, you know what? Everybody already knows this bitch guilty, so let's try to go for 6 for 6. I'm going to think we're probably going to be in the same situation a year from now at this time, because I think that there's going to be another trial. But that's just my uncultured opinion. I just, follow these cases, and I like doing this kind of trial coverage stuff because it's not the sexiest shit in the world, but it's normally consequential. Enjoy your guys this weekend. Hopefully it's warmer wherever you find yourself. Sorry for the bitching at the beginning. I don't like to do that. It's just, kind of funny when you look down and you see minus 36 and you're, not in the fucking Arctic. But anyways, with that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.